Good morning, Journey Church. My name is Brian Scott. I serve here in the Safety and Security Ministry, and I am just so pleased to be able to sit and share a little bit of word with you today. Faith is a term that we use all the time when we speak in our Christian lives. Oswald Chambers describes faith as confidence in God before you see God emerging. George Mueller, a great 19th century evangelist, was asked, "What's the best way to have strong faith?" His response was, "The only way to know strong faith is to endure great trials. I have learned my faith by standing firm through severe testing." So faith is very important to me personally. It's the anchor of my testimony to others. Its foundation was laid back in 1993 when I came back to God, and has been built upon and honed and fortified through trials, some quite literally by fire. Remember, once you've accepted Christ into your life, the evil one wants to knock you back into the world, which he controls, bringing hardships and grief, sown with doubt, designed to shatter your growing trust in Christ. I celebrate when attacked because the devil's afraid that I might do something great to build God's kingdom. The devil afraid of me? It's pretty humbling. When God stands with me, who can stand against me? James writes in chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, "Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let the endurance have its perfect result, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." Trials that James mentions can be big or small, but they work together to grow your faith in Jesus at every turn, because he is forming us into what he needs us to be. We should be joyous because we've been found worthy to be tested. Paul, who was tested at every turn, wrote in Romans, "But we also rejoice in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not disappoint us." God molds our character using his word. Hurdles and difficulties, victories and triumphs. Though the people in our lives, and through the people in our lives, those close to us, and even those who come into our lives for but a moment, or for such a time as this, as Esther reminds us, never to be heard from again. This shapes us into the tools and the person he needs us to be, to point others towards him. Sometimes when it's darkest, for us, especially amongst the storm clouds, when it's so difficult to see Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, we should have confidence that he will carry us through the storm, to the silver lining and the backside of those storm clouds, to the calm and the peace that comes after. When you've gone through a number of these trials, you'll be able to see God's hand and his handiwork in each and every one of them. It becomes clearer with every occurrence. As we grow in Christ, we learn to rely on him more and love him more. In My Utmost for His Highest, Oswald Chambers notes that faith never knows where it's being led, but it loves the one who's leading. Proverbs 19:6 says, "The mind of a man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." As we step out in faith, sometimes it's not always in the direction we think it's going to take us. Faith is asking God for guidance, then listening and following his answer. Martin Luther said, "Faith is a living, bold trust in God's grace." And I think we should have that. Be strong and courageous, my friends.